The host, False Bay and UniMil, here at the Phillip Herbstein field in Constantia, Cape Town. False Bay cracking the top 6, so many teams following suit behind them to get into the top 6. So all to play for False Bay. UniMil currently second on the log and need a win here to solidify a home semi spot. Just behind is Durban. They just have a game. They do have a game in hand. Durban, of course. Then just onto the weather. Beautiful conditions for some running rugby. Been a tough couple of weeks with heavy rain, but a good day to play rugby here today in Constantia. Now onto the teams. First we start off with False Bay. Number 1, Gumed Jaffa, Matt James and Tariq the Tank Allen. Ryan Obel Olafir, Josh Dutoy, workhorse of course, always be coming around the corner. Captain Fantastic, the Warrior Thabo Ngongo, Lucanyo Nomzanga, no reverse gear Nomzanga at 7. Alec Young of course comes in for Shane Oddison at 8. Then onto the backs for False Bay, Niaz Johnson, Nippy Scrumoff will be partnered a halfback pairing with Dylan Freiling, former Stormer player and a big game driver for False Bay. And onto the centres, Dan Jafter and Muji van den Hoven. Very solid combination there. Outside backs of Luke, smooth operator Jacobs, Mustaqim, Twinkle Toes Yappi, and at the back Ivan, the General Adams. Then onto the bench, Dylan Orenser, Ethan Wasserfall, Nizar Nazir, Busanda Mapena, Seth Ressler, Levin Janchis, Michael Jafter and Josh Florence, and the head coach for the False Bay team, Ash Wells. And on to UniMil with the 2 changes from last week, Friday's fixture against Brackenfell from last week. Tiny van Veek, the big bull. You'll see why they call him the big bull. Definitely not tiny at loose prop. Zander Case, followed by Raiz Sali, who is the UXI Academy coach. And the locks is Carlo Evergreen van Greenem, partnered by Brandon Valentine. Big unit, big ball carrier for UniMil. Obviously comes in for Angelo Rousseau. Captain Fantastic, Leon Carstens at 6. Celebrated 100 games last weekend for UniMil. Vian Engelbrecht at 7. Key player, big line-out option, and of course a big ball carrier for UniMil. And at the back of the pack is Adrian Parvat, of course, Varsity Cup captain for UW. Lucky Lepu, the pocket rocket, Lucky Packet. Carl Kermis at 10, the big game driver. And onto the centres, Lau Hendricks comes in at 12. Moves to 12 for Devon Enslem, who had a bit of a niggle last week with a hamstring strain. And he will be partnered by Cheslin Roberts. And onto the outside backs, Brian Maturumasha and Herschel Goodman. And at the back, the flyer, Azzy Africa. Onto the bench, Adam Neethling, Tian Duplessis, Chadron Robertson, Nick Evans comes in at 23, Chad Gesvint, Jordan Williams, Vian Robertson and Devon Enslin moves on to the bench. And head coach for UniMil is Ismail Dolly. Please do like, share and subscribe with the GSN. Only $30 subscription per month, less than a pint and a glass of wine. Definitely well worth it. Now we're just getting ready for the teams to come out. And there we have the ref. Ref here today is Etienne De Vieux. Here comes UniMil. Leon Carstens celebrated 100 caps last weekend, followed by his team. Looks like they'll be playing from right to left. And now we should be anticipating the introduction of False Bay. Thabo Ngongo, the warrior of this False Bay side. Here we see the False Bay side coming out onto the park now, led by the warrior Thabo Ngongo. Should be a mouth-watering encounter here. Very dry park. Taking into account some bad weather conditions over the past couple of weeks. Just looking at False Bay definitely a balanced game plan. They will be looking to utilize the outside backs a lot. And with those contestable kicks. Difficult team to beat at home. UniMil rely heavily on their set pieces and for some forward momentum. Key player is the outside back, player to watch as the Africa for UniMil. And looks like it is UniMil to kick off here proceedings. Playing from right to left and False Bay from left to right. Josh. Carl Kermis will be kicking off proceedings here for UniMil. The general at 10. Remember, UniMil just with 2 changes, and False Bay with some consistency coming from last week. And we're underway. Alec Young, big carry starts from Alec Young. To the warrior, Ngongo, the captain. Ivan Adams with a kick, deep kick. Adran Parvat just underneath it, big carry from him. And equally great tackle. Jepu, Robertson. Met Nasi there from Ryan Olivier. Jepu, Kermis. Jason Robertson coming back for the penalty infringement at breakdown. The call from a ref, Etienne De Veer, is offside. Let's see what UniMil does with ball in hand. Anticipate maybe they'll kick a ball out into touch. And going for poles is the call from Leon Carstens, the captain. And of course, Lyle Hendricks, moving from 13 to 12 this weekend, will be attempting kick at goal. He's the primary, of course, he's the primary kicker for UniMil. Very good goal kicker, of course. 55 meters kick for Hendricks. Played a bit for UW and UCT and Province through the junior ranks. And the kick is good. Kick is good from Hendricks, and UniMil off the mark with 3 points. I think anywhere 60 meters or 50 meters will be points for UniMil. Adams with ball in hand. Deep restart from Adams. Jepu. Great exit from Laku Jepu. Pocket rocket here for UniMil. Played his junior rugby for Province and former Pumas player, of course. And now we see the first set piece of the day. Matt James with ball in hand. Five-man line out. They're going for the front option. Shaky line out here for False Bay, but they're still able to retain the ball. Johnson, Freilink with the cross kick. Still retain the ball, does False Bay. Boston outside, unfortunately not finding their hands. And a great start here from False Bay. I did mention that False Bay were utilizing their outside backs quite a lot with those contestable kicks. And unfortunately not to be for them. It will be UniMil's ball. First set piece here for UniMil. Looks like it will be a scrum. Knock on into touch was the call. ref, of course, is Etienne de Vier. UniMil do have a very good scrum. Dominated Brackenfell last weekend. Brandon Valentine is replacing Angelo Rousseau for this weekend. Rousseau plying his trade back in the days for UJ. Scrum not steady is the call. Reset scrum. Definitely expected between both these teams. Just be looking to assert some dominance up front on the forwards. First scrum of the day. Be interesting to see what UniMil does with ball in hand here. Perhaps crash ball, vacuum channel in the middle, and then with the exit. Penalty for False Bay. Call, just a collapse scrum there from the props of UniMil. Tiny van Wyk is penalized. Tiny van Wyk, the big bull. Loose head prop, definitely not small or tiny. They're looking to go for touch here, False Bay. UniMil do have a 3-0 lead early in this first half. You could be expecting a more drive here from False Bay. Early shove from UniMil, they're going forward. False Bay are moving forward, gaining some momentum. Gaining some momentum, and a penalty try is the call from the ref. False Bay will some momentum in that more and got given a penalty try. And unfortunately, UniMil will have to play with 14 players for 10 minutes. Very good start here from False Bay. Just waiting for confirmation who got the yellow card. (7-3) is a score. False Bay having a slight lead. Unfortunately, not able to take that one, Muji van der Hoven. And Kermis now to the ball on the outside. Africa joins the line. Unfortunately, not to be losing his feet. Penalty is a call. Off-feet breakdown is a call from the ref, Etienne de Vier. The T is out. Perhaps he'll be looking to go for poles here. Just waiting for confirmation from the ref. Again, UniMil do have a player in the bin. Looks like it is Zander Kees, the hooker. Again, just waiting for confirmation. Ref seems to be very strict at breakdown. Etienne de Vier going for poles. La Hendricks with ball in hand. Second attempt at goal. First one was a 55-meter attempt, which was, of course, successful. Kick is no good. Just past the left and upright. And it will be a 22-meter drop out. Perhaps Evan Adams will be looking for a deep restart. Shorter restart here. And taken nicely there from Cheslin Roberts, who comes in for Divan Enslin. Raisali. Advantage is the call from the ref. Parvata. Fast Bay meeting him on the line. Rash defense, of course, from Fast Bay. Lukanya Nomzanga with a tackle. Again, offside is the call. Second offside penalty for Fast Bay. I think Tabo Ngo just needs to have a quick word with his teammates. Looks like they'll be going for the touch here. Carl Kermis going for the touch. And able to find touch. Now UniMil now inside the Fast Space 22 for the first time in the game with ball in hand. Overthrown there from UniMil, and unfortunately Ryan Oliver, the old bull, knocks the ball on. Definitely not what Fast Bay needed here. And UniMil have another opportunity here. Looks like Adran Parvata comes off as the Zander case is off. They do need a full front row, legal front row, so Adam Nathan does come on the park for UniMil. Just 7 players in the scrum for UniMil. Let's see if they're able to get any dominance in the scrum. It will be definitely difficult to get up against a full 8 for Fast Bay. Take 2 in the scrums. Hepu with the put in the scrum. Kermis. Pop on the inside, back to Roberts. Roberts with some momentum. Good footwork by Roberts. Africa joining the line at the back. Coming around the park is Herschel Goodman, but met comfortably from the forwards of Fast Bay. Back on the inside, Valentine, the big ball carrier. Hepu. Tiny Van Veck, the big pool. Hepu. Back on the inside to Brian Maturumasha. Penalty again is the call from the ref. Fast Bay definitely need to be careful here, conceding way too many penalties. Consecutive penalties in their own half. Penalty right in front of the poles. What does UniMil do? They go for poles. La Hendricks with another opportunity here. Third attempt for Lau Hendricks for poles. 50% accuracy thus far. Should be a straightforward kick for Hendricks, but again, you don't want to have that old commentator's curse. Kick is good. 7-6 is a score here at the Phillip Herbstein field, the home of Fast Bay. Bright conditions here, beautiful conditions for some running rugby. Again, UniMil are playing with 14 players. Just time off. Great take from Hendricks. Kepu, Kermis. With a deep up and under. Great take from Dylan Freilink, the general at 10. Johnson, popping outside from Dutoy to the captain, Ngongo. Back blind for Freilink. Back to the wing. Mustakim Yapi with some twinkle toes. Johnson, Young, the youngster, unfortunately not able to carry that ball. And a turnover from UniMil. Great kick from Kepu. Brian Maturumasha chasing the ball, but unfortunately goes straight onto to touch. Very unfortunate for Brian Maturumasha. Looks like it was a 50-22. But we'll have to take the touch judge or the AR's word for it. Middle option for Dutoy. Great throw from James. Morley's formed. Johnson. Freilink. Great exit from Evan Freilink. Finding touch. Definitely experienced player here for False Bay. Played for Stormers. Come against for the Stormers. He's been around the park as a professional rugby player. UniMil still playing with 14 players. Time is off. First throw for UniMil just went over the top. Brandon Valentine just getting a bit of a medical attention. Of course, that's coming to this game, starting this game, ahead of Angelo Rousseau, who's not playing this game. The front option, unfortunately, Young not able to get that one, and a knock there from Alec Young. They did end up contesting up front, False Bay. So for the lineouts for UniMil, very shaky. We do know that they have a very good set piece. So if they're not able to get the set pieces right, they won't be able to move the ball into the powerful backs. Second scrum here or third scrum for UniMil. Kermis, brought to Brian Maturumasha. Unfortunately, just a half break for Brian. Kermis, backward to Roberts. Roberts, unfortunately, not able to break through the first line of defense. Kepu to Vian Engelbrecht, a big ball carrier. Kepu, Kermis, Raisali. Big tackle from Nomzanga. No reverse gear, Nomzanga. Kepu, Leon Carstens. Met nicely by the scrum of Johnson. Tiny Van Vyk, the big bull. Good contest from Freilink, and turnover is a call. Johnson, right on the feet to Alec Young. Bit of a high tackle there. Definitely seat part tackle, penta advantage is the call. Muji van Joven, backward from Evan Adams. To Luke Jacobs, coming back for the penalty advantage for that high tackle. Just a bit of a scuffle between both these teams. Carlo van Gien just picking on the small players of False Bay. Needs to be careful here. They are playing in Constantia, the home of False Bay. Definitely not what is needed. Definitely a good game thus far. Need to keep this game clean. Yeah, the ref just having a quick word with both captains and the transgressors. Coming back for their penalty advantage for the high tackle. Adams able to find touch. James with ball in hand. So for 100% line-out completion for False Bay. Going for the four-man line-out. Young. Taken in the air. Young was taken in the air, Freiling. Backward to Adams. Muji van der Hoven. Niaz. Back to the forwards. Tarek the Tank Allen. Forwards coming around the corner. As expected. Ryan Fit. Back door to Freiling. Adams. Niaz Johnson, Freiling, back inside to Alec Young. Coming back for the penalty in the line-out. Alec Young was taken in the air. Score so far 7-6. False Bay just having a 1-point lead. Close to the midway point in the first half. Good touch finder from Adams. Unfortunately, just going over the top of the toy. But they were able to get the ball, but now turnover. Carlo van Gien with ball in hand. Back in field. Another turnover ball here for UniMil. Kepu Kermis. In fact, it was Lau Hendricks with a deep exit. Adams with ball in hand. Just chip on top from Adams. Kepu. Lau Hendricks. Great tackle from Totoy. Kepu. Just with a deep kickoff. Deep kick back to Freiling. Up and under from Freiling. And chased by Alec Young. Great take from Brian Maturumasa. UniMil going back blind. Looked a bit high there from False Bay. Should be expecting an exit here from UniMil. Laka Kepu with the box kick. Taking his time, needs to be careful here. Kepu with the box kick. Taken comfortably here from Niaz Johnson, the scrum off. Freiling. Alec Young again with another carry. The workhorse, Alec Young, replaces Shane Oddison. Evan Adams with another up and under. Just taking the air there from Luke Jacobs. I did say False Bay do tend to look for those cross kicks for the outside backs to contest. And the kick is not out, unfortunately not out. And Niaz Johnson with ball in hand. Johnson to Tarek the Tank Allen. Met by tiny big bull Van Wyk. Ngongo, Alec Young, Freiling to Muji van der Hoven. Back it back with on the outside to Mr. Kim Yapi. And unfortunately not to be. Great chicken wing pass here from Muji van der Hoven to Mr. Kim Yapi. Just time off is a call from Etienne de Vier. Been really impressed by the backs of False Bay. Evan Adams looking to join the line on attack, especially on his turnover balls. And Freilich looking for those cross kicks for the outside backs in Luke Jacobs and Mustaqim Yapi. Definitely what was expected from this well-balanced False Bay outfit. UniMil definitely not far off, just 1 point behind the home side False Bay. Now, UniMil do have all 15 players on the park. The ref is just having a quick word with the ref. The ref just having a quick word with the AR, beg your pardon. Leon Carstens and Ngongo. Some quick word again, another yellow card for UniMil. Definitely not what was needed, especially for a key player as the Africa at the back. Definitely something that False Bay can now exploit at the back of UniMil. UniMil again having to play with 10, 14 players on the park for the next 10 minutes. Let's see what False Bay does here. Kick the ball out into touch. Previous lineout was a bit shaky, but again Alekang was playing in the air. Again, Josh Dutoy in the air again. Good setup here from False Bay, but equally great counter shove from UniMil. Great defense from UniMil's forwards, and they were rewarded with a scrum. Great effort from UniMil. UniMil did have a shaky first scrum on their putting, which resulted in a penalty for False Bay. Just need to get some stability in the scrum in order for them to be able to get that exit. Perhaps Lau will be looking to crash it up, and an exit from Carl Kermis. Another scrum collapse. We've seen a couple of those. I think that's a third scrum collapse or reset scrum thus far. Take two in the scrums. Now it's a penalty for UniMil. Just Tariq Aaron just having a quick shove with Rais Sali, his opposite number. Definitely what UniMil would have wanted deep inside the own 22. Hendricks not able to kick the ball out into touch. Adams with a chop kick. Unfortunately, just going astray towards the right hand side. Very ambitious from Evan Adams. Evan Adams. UniMil will have to play a couple of minutes with 14 players on the park. Kermis with ball in hand. Another deep restart for Freilink to Adams. Adams goes on the outside to Luke Jacobs. Jacobs, step back on the inside from Jacobs. Johnson to Ngongo, the captain. Pop on the outside to Nomzanga. No reverse gear. Nomzanga, Freilink. Ryan Oliphant. Ryan Oliphant, sir, on his feet. Johnson to Freilink. Jafta. First carry from Jafta this afternoon. Freilink to Josh Toy. Unfortunately, didn't expect that one. And it was a knock. Poor pass there from Freilink. Toy, big ball carrier for Fast Bay. Workhorse here. Still relatively young, 22-year-old Toy. Scrum for UniMil. Better scrum. Again, another penalty for UniMil. Second scrum penalty for UniMil. Scrum collapse. Both teams need to have a stable scrum. Let's see if he does able to get this one out. This time Kermis is the kicker. Sunlight Case with ball in hand. First throw of the day here for him. Going for the back option for Engelbrecht. Great throw for UniMil. Moore is very static here. Shepu, Kermis, back to plant to Parvate, La Hendricks. Great tackle from Mustakim Yapi. Counter shove here from Tariq the Tank Allen. Coming from the side is the call from De Veer. Very heated exchanges here between both these teams. Again, the ref has to have another word here with the captains. Discipline issues. We already have two yellow cards for UniMil and consecutive penalties for False Bay. Kermis does kick a ball out into touch. Penalty conceded there from Tariq Allen in the breakdown case. The second attempt in the line out. Another back throw from Case. Does find the jumper. Again, another more drive here from UniMil as expected. Tiny Van Veek does join the line with the winger Brian Maturumasha. They do have some momentum here now, UniMil. Still going forward, now just 5 meters out. Penalty advantage is the call. Kepu, by Law Hendricks. Just short of the line of False Bay. Back to Tiny Van Wyk. Kepu to Leon Carstens, the captain. Kepu again to Kermis. Kermis unable to break the first line of defense. Paarwater. Pick up and drive from Paarwater. Kepu Kermis to Vian Engelbrecht, the big ball carrier. Back reverse option to back to the fours, Brandon Valentine. Quick carry here from Brandon van Paarwater, just short again. What is the call from the ref? Again, another penalty for False Bay, against False Bay, beg your pardon. False Bay need to be careful here now. Again, consecutive penalties in their own 22. Time is off again. 10 to another player, Paarwater, beg your pardon, is Brandon Valentine. They both have beards, Brandon Valentine and Paarwater. But Paarwater does have that strapping around his head. Going for touch, perhaps a more drive is the option here for UniMil. Did very well in this past weekend against Buckenfall, really worked out for them. The more drive, again a back option from Xander Case. Scrum collapse there, legal scrum collapse. The ball is in the air, Valentine, just short. Sali. Force just calling the force to pick up and drive. Paarwater. Just going over the top here, Valentine. Held up is the call from Etienne De Vere, the ref. Great defense from False Bay. UniMil fighting really hard. Getting some points on the board before the halftime break. Score still 7-6 for False Bay. Not much in it thus far in this first half. Perhaps it will be a game of two halves. Again, time is off. Does look like Vian Robertson is on the park. 22 for UniMil. Just outside of Laura Hendricks. It is UniMil's ball. Again, the ball was held up over the line. I think what's important here for UniMil, you need to have a stable scrum. If you can be able to get a stable scrum and have some forward momentum in the scrum, does put the backs into play. Now, UniMil do have all 15 players in the back on the park. As the Africa back from the sin bin, the fullback. Key member here for UniMil. Very quick, the flyer as the Africa. Again, another scrum collapse, but this time goes in the direction of False Bay. Penalty for False Bay. UniMil definitely disappointed with that one. We've seen so many scrum collapses which resulted in penalties. I think both the teams will have a quick talk, need to have a talk with the players at halftime. Get another ball that's not out, taken by Carl Kermis. Kermis to Africa, back on the inside to Kermis. Paardwater, Pickman carry from Paardwater. Show and go from Paardwater. Has been really impressive in this first half. Lepu. Quite a nippy character, the pocket rocket, Lepu. Brian Maturumasa now. Carl van Grenen, big opponents, Van Engelbrecht with a black scrum cap. Back blind for UniMil. Brandon Valentine not able to gather that one. Kermis. Popping outside to La Hendricks. Now UniMil do have some for momentum. For Case back on the outside, 2 for Carl van Grenen. Kermis just with a half break. Lepu. Brian Maturumasa outside. Steps back on the inside. But great tackle from Muji van der Hoven. Lepu. Paardwater. Couple of handoffs given there from Paardwater. Penalty is the call. Right in front of the poles. What do you do? 5 minutes remaining for UniMil. Looks like the tee is on. Lyle Hendricks with ball in hand. They're going for poles. Lyle Hendricks this far. Just a 67% accuracy in this game. 2 out of 3 completed attempts at goal for Lyle Hendricks. Kick is good. And UniMil now with a 2-point lead heading to the first half. Let's see how Fastbay responds to that. Definitely a tight encounter between these two sides. Of course, UniMil are fighting for that top 2 position on the Western Province Super A League log, and Fastbay sitting 6th on the log. Great take from Hendricks. Lepu to Kermis. Great exit from Kermis, finding touch. Matt James now with ball in hand. Great contest up front from Carly van Grenen. Carstens now with ball in hand, the captain. Captain fantastic. Celebrated 100 caps last weekend for UniMil. Kermis, cross kick to Herschel Goodman. Great tackle from Aussie Africa, the fullback. Nomzanga to Freilink. Freilink jinxing through, show and go. And a pop on the outside to Ngongo. Alec Young again, another carry. Really industrious in this first half. Freilink, bigger part as Josh Tutoy. The big lock forward for Fastbay. Nias Johnson back blind. Again a cross kick from Freilink. Just overcooked it. And they're coming back for the penalty. Penalty in the breakdown for Fastbay. Just a few seconds remaining this first half. Middle of the field. What do you do, Fastbay? Looks like they'll be going for poles. First goal attempt here for Evan Adams. Again, Evan Adams, another player who played for UJ. And the kick is good. Kick is good from Evan Adams. Few seconds remaining to conclude this first half. Very tight encounter between False Bay and UniMil. 10-9 is the score. Kermis with ball in hand. Jafta, Darren Jafta underneath it. Second carry for Darren Jafta. Ball, they are inside their own 22 here. Pass to Tariq the Tank Allen. Big tackle there from Rais Sali. Frylink with another up and under for Mustaqim Yapi. Grab it through from Muchi van den Hoven. Tariq the Tank Allen gathers that one. Fastman looking to play here. The time is up on the board. Evan Adams, cross kick to Luke Jacobs. Jacobs steps back in the inside. And unfortunately, Muchi van den Hoven not able to carry that one. And we should have the end of the first half. Scores here, 10-9 in the direction of False Bay. Very tight encounter in the first half. Definitely words from both coaches to the players. We'll be back shortly with the second half. False Bay with the 1 point lead heading to the half. Just a recap from the first half. 2 yellow cards from Africa and a case for UniMil. And now we're getting ready for the second half. Adams with the short restart. And no one going for that ball. Eventually taken by Hendricks. Case. Popping the ball to Daniel van Wyk, to Parvata, to Leon Carstens, to Captain Fantastic, to Brian Maturumasa, the winger. Clearpool to a big ball, Daniel van Wyk. Parvata going alone. Clearpool looking to get a penalty. Carlo van Grenen. Again, another pick up and go from Brandon Valentine. Gets a restart this weekend. Kermis. Hendricks. Equally met by Nomzanga. No reverse gear. Lukhanyo Nomzanga. Parvata. Shostitoy. Tackler. Shostitoy not running away, unfortunately. Penalized there. The toy, the lock forward for False Bay. But just a great tackle from Lukhanyo. No reverse gear, Nomzanga. And Kermis able to find touch inside the 22 of False Bay. Since the case has been throwing, they have been really successful. Looking for that back option. You must remember that early in the first half, Case did get that yellow card, which forced them to struggle a bit with the line-outs when Adam Netherland was throwing. But Case has been done really well thus far. Again, they're going for that back option. More expected from UniMil. Pick up and go from UniMil, but unfortunately, double whistle from the ref of here. Yellow card, unfortunately, for the scrum off Niaz Johnson. Very lucky they're not to concede a penalty try, as there was cover defenders for False Bay. Again, going for the touch finder. Now it's a turn for False Bay to play with 14 men for the next 10 minutes. Again, I did say it will be a game of 2 halves. Case, perhaps another back option. If you're a betting man, back option would be the call. Another back option, peel around for Engelbrecht, Jan Engelbrecht. Pick up and drive again from Parvata. Now getting some momentum here, UniMil. Going blind to Engelbrecht, to Leon Carstens. Leon Carstens with ball in hand, but just falling short. And taken out into touch. Unfortunately losing his feet there, the captain, Leon Carstens. And unfortunately going out into touch, Leon Carstens last week. Celebrating 100 caps for his club. Captain Fantastic, Leon Carstens. False Bay deep in their own half. A lot of pressure in this line out throw for False Bay. Matt James with ball in hand. And a great take from the toy. Looks like it was Alec Young, pardon. Still moving forward, False Bay's more. Gaining some momentum now. 15 meters and counting. Still going. And finally, the ball does go to ground. And scrum here for UniMil. Perhaps the ball not able to get out there. Ryan Olafried, the lock, not pleased with that call from the ref. Perhaps was calling from the side area swimming from the UniMil forwards. But again, what the ref says goes. Couple of more minutes for Niaz Johnson on the sin bin for False Bay. Currently False Bay without a scrum off. Dylan Freilink, the fly-off, does have a bit of a profile. A few games playing at scrum off for Stormers and Pumas. Perhaps a strike move coming here from UniMil. That's if, of course, they're able to get clean ball from that scrum. Klepu with the put-in. Going forward, penalty for UniMil. Quick tap from Klepu, popping outside to Kermis. Carstens outside Robertson. Africa on the outside to Brian Maturumasha. The flyer scores in the corner. Great team try, started by Lako Klepu with a quick tap and finish off nicely on the outside from Brian Maturumasha. And UniMil with the small slight lead here at Phillip Herbstein Field in Constantia. Great team try here from UniMil. Quick thinking there from Lucky Packet. Lucky here with the pocket rocket. Quick tap from the penalty scrum. And quick hands from the centres and the flower for UniMil, which led to that try in the corner for Brian Maturumasha. Has been looking for work and rewarded with a try. Now it's Carl Kermis with the attempt at goal. And the kick is no good. (10-14). UniMil just with a 4-point lead now, early in the second half. Adams with the short restart. Unfortunately, not able to gather that one. That was Vian Engelbert with the black scrum cap. Now Fastbay do have an opportunity here to capitalize. Just a few more minutes now till we see the reintroduction of Niaz Johnson, the scrum off. Of course, serving his time in the sin bin, 10 minutes. Steady scrum from both sides, back blind to front from Freilink. Unfortunately, not able to find their hands again. And a knock is a call from the ref, Etienne de Vier. It's really unfortunate there from Freilink, not able to find the hands of Evan Adams. It was a really good opportunity there for them to get some points on the board, but not to be. Now UniMil just with the ball in hand. They did have a very dominant scrum on their own previous scrum. Let's see what they do here. Lepu with the put in. Penalty again for False Bay. What is going on in the scrums? Both sides conceding penalties, scrum penalties. And this time it's for False Bay. 4 points down. And False Bay looking to go for touch finder. Perhaps looking to go for the points. Is this perhaps the correct option here? But again, only time will tell, of course. Evan Adams with a kick attempt. Just one kick thus far, 100% accuracy in this game thus far for Adams. And the kick is good. Kick is good from Adams. And now there's just 1 point behind. Team lying second on the log, UniMil. Perhaps they need some a bit of cheering here from the fans for the home side, False Bay. Kermis with ball in hand. Deep restart here from Kermis. Jafta just losing it, but his feet there. Ngongo to the outside to Jaffa. Van der Hoven to Olafried. To outside to Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs was coming through. And safely at the back was Parvata. Put them outside to Lepu to Kermis. Did very well to clean up the ball at the back there, Parvata. Robertson. The ball is very slow to get out from that rock. Hendricks, Robertson. Lepu, back to Parvata. The workhorse, Parvata. Case, the hooker. Met by the captain, Ngongo. Kermis. Back to Robertson, breaking the line. Brian Maturumasa, kick on top. Quick chase here from Maturumasa and Hendricks. Unfortunately, goes into touch. Great play here from UniMil. Able to identify space. And a kick on top there from Brian Maturumasa. Unfortunately, going out into touch. Now False Bay with the ball in hand, with the line out inside the own 22. Let's see what they do with the ball in hand. Back option, and unfortunately it was shoe from Matt James. Definitely not what False Bay needed here, especially with 1 point down. Can't say well-oiled UniMil side. Now we see a few changes here. Looks like it's Ethan Wasserfall in for Gumad Jaffa. And Tyne Van Veek comes off. And Tian Tupisi comes on. And Busanda Mapena as well comes on the park. Looks like it's the veteran Ryan Olafried does depart the field. So many caps for False Bay. think he's the most capped fast break player. Could be wrong, of course. It is a scrum for False Bay. Beg your pardon, looks like it's for UniMil. Hepu with the put in. Scrum advantage. Parvata with the pickup and carry again. Gaining some meters. Case, the Hooker force coming around the corner now. They still do have a penalty advantage. That was Vianangabret. Again, it's the force coming around. Parvata again with another carry. Unfortunately, no meters here for him. Sepu. Big fight here from Robertson. Popping outside the end from England to Comus. Africa breaks the line! Africa breaks the line! Popping the ball outside, and unfortunately the ball goes to ground! Oh no! All the pointers go down their hands, down the line. And not to be for UniMil. They will come back for the penalty advantage in the scrum. The two have a 1 point lead, UniMil. Great play here from the backs of UniMil. I did mention this back line of UniMil, very dangerous. They're not second on the log for nothing. Ball kicked into touch. Case has been really successful here. Hooker for UniMil. Very strong point for them here. The line out, more drives again, some more subs here for False Bay. Looks like it's Lucanio, no reverse gear, no Mzanga. And Tariq the Tank Allen departing. Able to find the back option. Again with that more drive as expected here from UniMil. But False Bay equally up to it. Ball still in that breakdown. Kermis passing outside to Robertson. Met comfortably there from Muji van den Hoven. Penalty advantage again from the ref. Game player, back blind from UniMil. Quick tap from Klepu. Klepu pulling on again and outside to Leon Carstens. Another try here for UniMil. Great thinking again from Klepu. Second assist here from Klepu. And now UniMil with a 6 point lead here. Playing away from home against a tough opposition in False Bay. Very good thinking here from Lucky here with the scrum off. Able to identify space, quick tap, and passing outside to Leon Carstens. Captain fantastic. Now La Hendricks with the conversion attempt. And the kick is good. Kick is good. And now UniMil do have an 8 point lead against the home team False Bay. Let's see how False Bay responds here. Deep restart here from Evan Adams. La Hendricks. Great tackle. Pass back on the outside from Brian Maturumasha to Herschel Goodman. Herschel Goodman very quiet in this game thus far. Lepu to Raisali. Just a light shove from Sali. Hepu to Kermis. Finding the exit here from Kermis. Great ball back on the park here from Adams. Quick line out ball. Penalty advantage is the call. Mapena popping outside to Ngongo, the warrior. Tabu Ngongo, the captain, coming back for the penalty. 8 points down near False Bay. The ref just having a quick word here with the captain and Adran Parvata. A yellow card is the call. We've seen so many tense moments between both these teams, and Adran Parvata is sent to the bin. Had such a good game, and unfortunately we have to go to the sin bin chair for 10 minutes. Now, Fastback, do you have an opportunity here to get some points on the board? UniMil playing with seven forwards. Again, no one goes up a Fastback. Missed opportunity. And UniMil, Hepu, Kermis. Oh, they're playing the ball inside the own goal line. Luke Jacobs. Evan Adams. Goosen inside. Goosen outside from Adams. Pop to Musakim Yapi. Grab it through. And unfortunately overcooked from Musakim Yapi. Great charge down there from Alec Young. Applying a lot of pressure back onto UniMil. We see Josh Florence on the park as well. Deep restart here from Carl Kermis to Adams. Freilink. Jinxing through Freilink. Great tackle from Hendricks. Johnson. Johnson to Ethan Wasserfall. Beg your pardon, that was Nazir. Unfortunately, another turnover here. And it's that man, Dian Duplessis. What is going on here? So many turnover balls in contact. Definitely not what is needed from both sides. Losing the ball in contact. Looks like Chad Herbstein is on the park as well, who replaces Lucky Hepu. Well played, Lucky Hepu, with the two try assists. Quick thinking on attack. Quick tap, which led to 2 tries for UniMil from Lucky Hepu. Played junior ranks for Western Province and for the Pumas. School down the road at Sachs, South African College School. Arguably the oldest school in the country. Recess scrum is a call from Etienne De Vier. Two new front rows. Hookers are still out there. Perhaps a bit of consistency would be the call for the ref. Good decision from the ref to call the reset. Another reset scrum. There have been so many restarts here and collapse scrums from both sides. Something that both these teams need to have a look at especially with the upcoming games. Perhaps it is the field. We've had some wet conditions over the past couple of weeks. Steady scrum. Johnson with the put-in. Penalty for UniMil. These scrum penalties have been taking a toll from both these teams. It's really something that the coaches need to have a look at. So many scrum penalties. Kermis with a kick into touch. UniMil do have an 8-point lead. Some more subs. Looks like it's Mikhail Jafta now on the park. So we've got Florence and Darren Jafta and Mikhail Jafta on the park. Again, another back option. Gersvint, Kermis, Hendricks again with another strong carry. The big center. Gersvint. Poor pass from Gersvint. A great take there from Carl van Grenen. Carl Kermis. Africa. Not able to break the line now. Return over ball here for False Bay. Looks like we have a serious injury on the park, but we'll carry on with the play. Jafta to Florence. Johnson to Darren Jafta. Now some momentum here for False Bay. Ngongo on back, popping outside to Ethan Vassafel. Filing cross kick here from Mikhail Jafta to Mr. Kim Yapi. Yapi not able to break the line. Great tackle there from Brian Mutarumasha. False Bay, unfortunately again. Very frustrating times here for False Bay. Gaining some momentum and unfortunately last bits and losing the ball. Definitely not what is needed for False Bay, especially if that's 8 points behind. Starting to get a bit chilly here. No wind to speak of whatsoever. Great winter's day for some running rugby. Just another reminder for all the viewers out there on Global Sports Network, please do share, like and subscribe. It's only 30 Rand subscription. It's less than a pint and a glass of wine. Definitely worth it. Back to the action. And it's UniMil with ball in hand. Chad Gersvint. Gersvint with the put in. Now scrum is wheeled. Very inconsistent officiating here from the ref. But again, the scrums have been a bit shaky for both sides. Another scrum reset here for UniMil. UniMil need to be very careful here not to concede a penalty. We've seen the team that puts a ball in most likely will be penalised in the scrums. But UniMil will be looking to get some stability here in the scrums. Great shove here, Herbstein. Great tackle from Niaz Johnson. Beg your pardon, that was Freiling. Penalty is the call. Great tackle from Freiling, who moved from far to scrum off. But unfortunately, another infringement and the breakdown for False Bay. And applying less pressure for themselves is UniMil. I think False Bay will get themselves to blame here. Dian Duplessis joins. Just there needs to be a bit of space in between these forwards in the line out. There needs to be that 1 meter gap in between in the line out. Good contest there from the Toy. And now False Bay have an opportunity here. Alec Young. It's been really a workhorse here for False Bay. Florence, Schafter to his brother, Darren Schafter to outside to Luke Jacobs. Diving off his feet is a call from the ref, penalty advantage. Josh Dutoy. Great tackle from Hendricks. Florence. Mapena! Where's a half break? Ball slow to come out, Freiling. Schafter to Darren Schafter. Mikael to Darren Schafter. Freiling. Back to Seth Fressler. Ball again slow to come out the ruck. Freiling. Schafter, Mikael Schafter. Alec Young. Freiling with a show and go. Niaz Johnson to Seth Fressler. False Bay still have a scrum advantage, penalty advantage. Florence with a big knock, the big man. Tell the guy, sit down. Got your back. Fortunately, there was a knock in the breakdown. Coming back for the penalty. False Bay, of course, do have 8 points down. Freiling with ball in hand. Going for the touch finder. Matt James with ball in hand again. Going for that middle option to Dutoy. The more is set here from False Bay. UniMil asked to retreat. Here's some momentum, but they're not going forward, they're going sideways here, False Bay. They are gaining some momentum. Freiling with ball in hand to Florence, Josh Florence. Just short of the line. Ball's coming around now. Seth Fressler, great big hit there from Sali. And still with ball in hand, ball still coming out very slow out the breakdown. Freiling to Alec Young. Schafter to Niaz Johnson. Great tackle there from Brian Maturumasha. meeting Poland, man. Now with the forwards, pick up and go here from the forwards. Need to be very patient here, fast play. Frauling to Mapena. Looks like it's a penalty here for UniMil. Again, another missed opportunity inside the 22 of UniMil. Frustrating times here for fast play. Now UniMil just relieving himself with that pressure applied there from fast play. Another back option here from Zanderkees. Unfortunately, Chad Herbstein knocking the ball, not keeping his eye onto the ball there. It's very unfortunate. Another opportunity here for fast play. And Zanderkees departs. And looks like it's Adam Neethling back on the park. Did struggle a bit in the lineouts there, Adam Neethling. Looks like it's 5 minutes left from the ref. Unfortunately, scoreboard is down at the moment. Fast, but do have an 8-point lead. Another scrum reset here. There have been so many scrum resets, so many scrum penalties for both sides. Frauling with the put in the scrum again. Big shove here from UniMil. Great shove here from UniMil. Spirits are high here at the moment for the wayside UniMil. Tails are wagging here for the wayside. Kermis. Great kick into touch. 4 minutes left is a call now. Forcepen definitely need to do something here to solidify a spot in the top 6. That middle of the log is very jam-packed. A loss here. Could see themselves dropping down from the top 6. Short arm. Free kick is a call here for fast play. Just a bit of miscommunication there from the forwards in the line out for UniMil. Time is running out here. Frauling, quick tap to Jofte. Beg your pardon, that was Laverne Chanchis of Fast Bay. Both Levin Janchis and Mikhail Jafta, or let me say Dan Jafta, are wearing scrum caps. Just a bit of a confusion there. Just ref Etienne de Veer just having a word here with both captains. Another yellow card here. So many yellow cards in this encounter, and unfortunately UniMil will have to play with 14 men for the rest of this encounter. Player yellow card there was the hooker Tian or Adam Neethling. Again, another line out going on top. Missed opportunities here for False Bay. The captain. Leon Carstens, Kumis, Africa. Great tackle there from Darren Jafta. Grab it through from Chantis. And unfortunately not to be. Looks like it's a 22-meter dropout is the call from the ref. Perhaps that was Seth Fressler. That was Seth Fressler. Great tackle from Seth Fressler on Africa. Ball dislodged, and it was grabbed through from Janchis. Hey, I'm just having another quick word here with Etienne de Veer. Penalty here and a yellow card. So many cards here dished out by Etienne de Veer. Looks like it's a free for all out here at the moment with these yellow cards. Kick out into touch here from UniMil. Some more subs here for UniMil. So introduction of Divan Enslin of UniMil. Ball for Kermis, Hendricks, the big center. Kermis, Brian Maturumasha to Divan Enslin. Gersvent. Light infringement there from Janchis, but the ref calls play on. Parvata with his handoffs. Gersvent. That nudge through from Gersvent. Sharon Robertson passing outside to Vianna Brett. Vianna Brett does the other legs. Unfortunately not to be. Now inside the 22 of False Bay. Gersvent. Back on the outside to Divan Enslin. Going back plan. Kermis. Brian Maturumasha. Penalty here for False Bay. Time is running out on the board here for False Bay. What do they do? Quick tap here from Dylan Freilink to Jafta. Jafta. Pass to Nias Johnson. Nias Johnson does he have the legs? Back on the inside to Tufter. And a great tackle here from Brian Maturumasha. Cross cover tackle. And time is up on the board. And UniMil are victors here this afternoon in Fast Bay. We'll be back after this short break with the interviews. Let's give him some